20 episodes in and we have not won a Stanley Cup. Can this be the episode we get that chance once again? What's going on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 20 of our franchise mode with the Buffalo Sabres. We are back here at the halfway point of the year 2030. We've only made it to the playoffs once so far, and that's where we want to get back to. We've actually had a pretty good start this year. What was it, 7th, I think, in the NHL, something like that. But 52 points so far, 2 points out of second in our division, and we also have the top wildcard spot by a couple of points as well. So we're in a good spot right now, but we talked about in the last video, right? There's still some stuff we can improve, and that was the special teams. So we went back, we adjusted some of the lineup, the lines, we switched them up. We did make one roster move. We did send down Oslin, who was up here, that mainly because Kulik didn't sign. He is now with us, obviously, and he is in the lineup and performing well. So Oslin did go down. We did call up AJ Greer, who's part of that trade with Henning. So he is on that fourth line. We put him on the penalty kill as well, and I think that's everything we did. Defensively, we're the same. Goaltenders were the same. Everything else is the same. Again, we just switched up the special teams lines. Goal for this episode, we're 43 games in, a little bit past halfway, but, just due to how everything worked out, it's kind of what we had to do. But we look to get up to the trade deadline. Mainly this year, I don't plan on making any big moves. I know I say that every year, but there's always something you can add to the squad. This year will be a lot about pending contracts, right? If we think we're going to be able to re-sign certain players or not, or if they're going to want too much next year, that will be part of this trade deadline. So we have to get up to that point. We got to put ourselves in a good position, but either way, we got to start that off now. Let's get it started with, I think it's a couple of away games. Actually, going on a little West Coast road trip here. So, all right, let's get past all these teams and obviously the outlook towards all of these videos from now on, or I should say from this point for the rest of the year, is to secure that playoff spot. Right, last time we were in a good spot, but then the second half of the year, not even a good spot, we were in a decent spot, but then halfway through the year, we just decided to crap the bed, right? We did not perform well in the second half of last year. So it looks like the Senators are far and away are the best team in our division, and we have a pretty good battle going as well. Few teams fighting for that last playoff, the wild card spot. But as of this point, we are going to simulate up to, I guess, a couple days before the trade deadline and see what it exactly is out there, right? All we need is points at this point, right? If we're going to lose, at least take it to overtime. As long as we get that 1 point, we get the most points as possible, we'll be in a good spot. And I think we're going to be in that good spot once we get these last couple of games done. And there we go. 35, 21, and 6. Good enough for 70 points in our division. Senators still absolutely crushing it. 90 points for them. And we are still in a good battle, right? So we don't need to do it, right? Probably should, though. If there is any kind of like cheap reinforcements we can make, that's kind of what I'm looking for, but I don't anticipate making any big, blockbuster trades. But after further kind of decisions here, I feel like it's going to be best to just stay course, right? There's really not a ton on the trade market. Like, a lot of the defensemen are like arguably like some of the best players in the world, and then after that, it's just kind of like some random guys that don't really upgrade our team much. I was looking for a little bit of anything, mainly help on the defensive side, but either contracts or trade value or just the role that we're looking for just doesn't fit. So either way, we're going to pass by the trade deadline and just not make a move for once. But for the first time in a long time, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we did not make a trade or a signing or anything else. So we are going to continue on with how our team is, the same exact team that we left off with before the trade deadline, and we're going to ride it out with this team, and hopefully that will lead us to the promised land, right? That's exactly where we want to be. Last time, the second half of the year was not very kind to us. This time, we're hoping the tides have turned, right? We need those wins, right? We are also in a very, very close race. So I'm looking. So 74 points, 70 points. There's kind of two teams in the Metro, along with ourselves, the Maple Leafs, and the Red Wings, all super, super close to each other. We gotta be on our toes here. We need the wins. We need the points. As long as we get points in every game we play in, I think we'll be in a really good spot. Those two losses don't help. So we gotta keep watching that, and we gotta keep watching the Metro too. So kind of one or two teams there have the potential, but we really gotta watch out for our division, right? If we get into that third spot, then we kind of have those two buffer spots. Let's go one. Yeah, I guess all the games are super close together. So I guess we'll go day by day and we'll watch this unfold. So the Blue Jackets, I think they're in the Metro, top of their division. They get the win. All right, we got to keep watching that. The Bruins are, I think, underneath us. I think I saw. Come on, get that win. We got a point, though. Got a point. That's crucial. So we did fall out for a second. 82 points is the wild card spot. Plus, we got a couple teams over in the Metro. And actually, I kind of just won now at this point because they're at 78. I mean, the most they can get is kind of right where we are now. So 80 points there. I mean, we're at 80 points here. So we got to go pretty good here. Come on. Get some wins here. Big win versus Ottawa. We're going to keep watching. 82 points. So they're 86. So we can still get there where they do have a couple, we have a couple games in hand that we haven't played yet. Big loss versus the Bruins. The Canadians. 82 are falling out. They're 82 also. So we got a race here. That's for sure. We have a race. Lightning, they're not in a great spot. Aren't they actually one of the teams we were fighting for? No, they're underneath us. They're not even close. Come on. Beat this team easily. There we go. We're in the second wild card spot. 84. This is coming down the wire. That's for sure. 84 points. 88's in. Okay, and then second wild card's 84. The Bruins are at 84. And then we also have to watch out for the Capitals at 82 points. So, what's that, 4 teams? These last couple games are going to be crucial. But it looks like we're probably going to own tiebreakers and stuff. I'm guessing. No, they have less law. I don't know how it works. All right, let's continue on. Big win. Are we in? 86 points. It doesn't give us the X. So we're still in a wild card spot. Bruins at 84. Capitals at 84. We're playing against the Red Wings, who have already clinched and are at the seed above us. So it's coming down to the last game of the year to fight for playoffs. I mean, do we do it? We got to click the button. Here we go. Win and we're in. Win and we're in. There we go. 88 points overall. Came down to the wire. Capitals were sniffing. Bruins are there. Maple Leafs fall out, I think, at the last second there. So they must have lost a couple last of their games. Wow. Down to the wire. We get in at the last second. But all right, as we normally do, let's see how our team fared this year in the regular season, starting with our player stats. So Thompson, little bit under what he normally does, right? But still, very solid year. 82 points, point per game, 38 goals for him. He's on line with Benson, 77 points for him. Cousins, solid year, right? 70 points, 31 goals. Batherson on the top line. You know, him and Benson, you know, we'll take that, right? 67 points, still a solid year. He got Tuck on the second line, not so much performing anymore. 60 points, still a great year for, you know, a second line player. Savoy from the third line getting 54 points. Lafreniere bumped around a little bit this year, but still just shy of 50 points. Cooley coming out late with 43 points. Minus 15, no, not what you want to see. Hemming with a solid year for a third liner. I mean, this was the worry with getting him, was he's a third liner. He's not going to be on the power play. And his, you know, this is kind of the stat line I expected, right? About 20, 25, maybe 30 points, you know, plus minus kind of average. And then he was just going to be kind of like a depth player. So that was hard to wrap my head around, but it also made sense at the time just due to his, you know, low trade value at the time. A solid year for Richie, 25 points, 12 goals from the fourth line. Stevenson with 24 points. He regained a little bit towards the end. Greer with 10 points in 39 games. I mean, solid for a fourth line call-up guy. Defensively, Dahlin doing his thing, as usual. Power, 33 points. Big plus minus, though. Minus 21 for him. Then you got, obviously, so solid points on Power. Just we need that plus minus just to be a little bit better, like a lot a bit better. But Dance, though, very solid year. 20 points, way more than we expected. But plus 40, right? Playing alongside Dahlin, we will take that. Faber, minus 16, 19 points. He is up for a contract this year, so that's going to have to be a really big, offseason talk and to try to figure out what we're going to do with him. Parks with a semi-good year, but, it's just hard because he's, 60, 85 overall, 23 years old. He definitely deserves to be on one of the top lines. Just we don't really have a spot for him on the top lines. It's either knock Dance down, you either have to drop Faber down and get rid of one of those players down there, or just kind of keep him there. I'm not exactly sure what to do, but going into this year, goaltenders-wise, we expected Diago to be our number one guy. We got very lucky with Radoslav Hummel here. Solid year for him as far as wins go. Stats-wise itself, not so much, right? .890 save percentage, 3.46 goals against. Solid year from our backup in Klang, though. 8-3-1, a 912 save percentage, 2.8 goals against. So, we'll take that, 34 goals allowed. So a lot of goals, right? Defensively, we need help. Now, what we're going to do to fix that, I'm not sure yet. That'll have to come, probably this offseason. We can't really do anything now. So, we got the wins there. We just need to allow less goals and just not fight down to the last second and actually get in with some time to spare and, kind of figure things out for playoffs. But either way, let's go on to our team stats and figure out if anything got better. We finish off at 13th overall in the entire league, tied with a few teams at 88 points. So, not bad, but still we can do a lot better than that, right? We have a team that should be competing at the top of our division, right? It just, overall wise, absolutely. But we need to figure out something because holy cow, we have been not doing great. Either way, we finished 44, 31, and 7. So, again, decent, but we can be a lot better than that. Goals for 287. And if you look at the top teams here, we're at the bottom there. That's for sure. But as far as overall wise, 287, when we look at it, not great, not terrible, kind of right in the middle. We need to score more points, plain and simple. Now, that can come down to a few things. Is that kind of like a, player type issue? Because, we have, some scorers there. Do we need more? I'm not sure. But then goals against, we had, I think it was like 279 or something, I believe, right? It was towards there, 270 something, I think it was. Yeah, 279. So we're towards the bottom, but also kind of midway, right? We can do a lot better in that aspect. So we need to put up more points. We need to have some better offensive players as well as play better defense, right? We have not been, doing what we need to do. Power play-wise, both our special teams have just been kind of garbage, realistically, and I don't know what to do to really fix that because we have the players, but 17.6% is just not good enough. Plain and simple, it's not good enough. What is our penalty kill percentage? Even 80%. Not terrible, but still towards the bottom, right? That bottom kind of, 10, 15 or so teams is not where we want to be. And then our records, 22, 15, and 4 at home, 22, 16, and 3 away in the last 10. Not necessarily been the greatest to us, but still, in the positive department, 5, 4, and 1. So our penalty kill, a few things, right? The kind of big takeaways for this year is we're not putting up a lot of points, right? Whether it's our team or, players in general. Do we try to go for a more offensive team next year and then go for help on defense? Because when I was looking at our stats, for our AHL team, all of the players that I had mentioned to be young, very good prospects are basically all ready for the NHL already. So that's where this tough decision comes in, where, Faber's up for a contract, Barron's up for a contract, Dansk played very well this year, our left side's pretty stacked, but what do we do when we have all those guys ready? Right? I don't want to trade them away just for nothing because we've been doing well, but at the same time, obviously something here's not working. No matter what it is, something's not working here. But like we say every year that we do make it to the playoffs, or I guess the only year that we've made it to the playoffs, is it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there in the end. And we are there, probably the 8th seed if I would guess. But who are we facing off against in round number 1? It's going to be, if we stop getting trolled here, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who had a regular season record of 49, 22, and 11. Let's go check out their squad and see who's even there anymore. All right, first look with you guys, and oh my goodness. So Kent Johnson, I think it's Adam Fantilli, Patrick Laine, Jordan Dumas, Christian Dvorak, Johnny Gaudreau, and then we got some, I'll say depth players down here, but I mean, they're very top-heavy as far as their forwards go. They have that superstar first line, still a respectable second line, but then after that, not so great. Defensively, I mean, they definitely have some weapons there, right? Werenski, Boquist, and I think it's Jurek? Sure, let's go with that. Along with Matthias Samuelsson, who we traded away a long time ago in this franchise mode, I'm pretty sure. You know, where have we been? Yeah, it was like one of these 2 years. We traded him away for, I don't even remember who, but yeah, a couple of guys after that. I mean, still pretty solid. Who do they have in net? Our old friend Tarasov. What'd he do for them? Oh, now you want to play well. Right now you want to play well, right? Didn't play well here. Went down, still played okay. Didn't play well that year. And then all of a sudden you're the starting goaltender for Columbus? Okay, Tarasov. You also got Stuart Skinner down there as well as your backup goalie. I mean, backup goalie stats kind of look decent. Anybody scratch? Got a couple of random players there. But on paper, as usual, we look better. But as usual, I'm very worried. So, decent team on Columbus. Obviously very top-heavy on their top line. You know, second line still really respectable. You know, 3 pretty good defensemen, you know, followed with some other kind of role players. So, we're going to have a work ahead of us here. Next episode will be the entire playoff run against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and hopefully continue on to the second round against whoever we would end up playing in the second round. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. But if you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe. And as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.